I was taking meth, and I didn't know where the argument started from it. I noticed the knife and just looked at him. He looked down at the knife and looked at me, and then I grabbed it. Stabbed him. You know what I mean? Better him than me. I wasn't getting stabbed, like, you know what I mean? No chance. No chance of that happening. No chance. I getting stabbed in my own house. No chance of it. Karma's a bitch, you know what I mean? I probably have some karma coming my way to get me, but sure, if you're ready, you know what I mean? I'm ready for it. I choose him over me, and I would do it again and again and again. So I would. I mean, don't think about him whenever you're off your feet, see, don't. I didn't think of him whenever I was bent in on him. You know what I mean?
3 my years of drinking, like, you know, I ended up in police cells and with a bit of fighting and stuff like that, you know, but this is completely different this time, you know. It's changed me as been took away from your loved ones each day, you know, and time to think about my own life and how the journey to now, it hasn't been good, like, you know, but I just don't know. I just don't know. I grew up with an older brother and my mother and father. And my older brother, he fell through a roof at the age of 10 and died. And my mother and father they couldn't get over it at all. So they turned to alcohol, and from a young age, I was 8 at the time my brother died, and all they seen in the house was alcohol and fighting and violence, you know, from a very early age, and that's all I can remember from my childhood. I would say probably the age of 14. I think I took my first drink. And I just loved it right away, you know, and it made me feel different. Gave me more confidence. Just made me feel part of the gang, you know what I mean, like, you know, and I wasn't shy then, like, you know, but that way of being didn't last long, like, you know, the drinking got out of hand and the trouble got worse, you know, with the police now. My good wife, who's still with me today, you know, we got married at the age of 24. I was 24, you know, and she was 19. And I promised her a lot too, but I couldn't keep them promises. And the drink always won, you know. understand it, but loads of funny things.
I think over the boys' side, they would get a better food. They would have the animals. They would have the goats and sheep, so they would have over there to look at. I don't think you would have anything out the back over there, having a look. I suppose nothing really over there. But as you say, at least I've got a wee bit of a few. Just keep looking there every night. And I'll be out somewhere. I'll be out. I had a good upbringing. Right up to the age of 18, and then everything started just sloping downhill. Got involved in the wrong crowd, started taking drugs, drank. Then that period of time went off for a while, and then when I basically became homeless at one stage, I started taking legal highs. They turned into big addiction problems for me for about 2 years. I just started off at parties, and everybody else was doing it, and I thought I'll go ahead and take ecstasy, took cannabis. They were like partying from the Thursday to the Sunday. Thought I'd have one of it, but I came off all them there, and I was just mostly on having a drink. My problem was I couldn't say no to people, and that's how I lost my house. I ended up feeling sorry for somebody in a hostel, basically, and they started to rouse the neighbours. And then I got 2 eviction notes, and then I became homeless. To feed my addiction, I had to go out to thieve, and it wasn't just basically for myself. I don't know, it was for other people as well. And as I say, I did think these people were my friends, and when I came off the legal highs, my phone stopped ringing.
Imprisonment is not, or being in prison is not punishment. Coming to prison is the punishment. The deprivation of one's liberty taken by the court is the punishment. Imprisonment is about understanding how somebody finds themselves here and starting upon the journey of rehabilitation. Often, people's lives are in chaos. There's homelessness, there's hopelessness, there's despair. There's educational concerns about levels of literacy, numeracy. For some, they've got concerns in respect of drug abuse, alcohol abuse, domestic violence. We've got learned behaviour. People have been used to doing something for a significant part of their life. But we've got to try and break that cycle. We've got to try and give people opportunity. We've got to try and give them faith. We've got to try and give them hope. We have to rebuild that fracture that's occurred while they've been in the community.
Can we change everybody's lives? No. We're not that good. No such person exists. My belief is that you can get many people to a point whereby they begin to reflect on what they've done. I don't believe you make people you make people change their mind. I think you take them to a point whereby they're awakened themselves to what they've done. I've seen and talked to many prisoners about a light starts to glow, and it's how we can build on that. But it's like everything else, it's a case of getting people to a point where they're far more receptive to it.
bit of a messer. In the secondary school, it says that my mum, they've never seen any pupil with a worse record in over 25 years in LaSalle Boys in Andersonstown. And it's basically just attention seeking. I was just wanting to be the class clown, as they say. Done my level 1 and 2 in painting and decorating down Twin Spires, and I got kicked out of here for smoking cannabis in the toilets, and then I started into hanging around with people like who were into robbing shops and burgling houses and stealing good car keys, and just then I seen what they were doing and seen the money that they were making, and I just joined along with it and liked it. It was an experience. It was a buzz. It was a good feeling of police chasing us and getting away and stuff, and then having lots of money at the end of the night and having a drink, being able to stay out all night with new friends, with having girls and all, having parties and stuff. It's just the thing in West Belfast that was happening at the time, and it was enjoyable.
Back then, did you think at all about the people whose houses you were going into or whose cars you were taking?
No. I didn't think about the people or how they felt, or just all we were thinking about was the buzz at the time of getting the key and driving away and going over 100 miles an hour and stuff and selling it maybe the next morning and getting new clothes and new Nike Air Max and stuff and getting takeaways. Two well-known men from the state. I'm not going to say who they are, but they give me a warning and says if it carries on, I'll be severely dealt with. And obviously, it never took no heed of it, and still carried on. I never seen them. I was always out during the night working. Well, as I say, working. It's always out on the scope looking for cars to steal.
My mum was caught bringing me on drugs. I pressured her into doing it. You know what I mean? She's out now, like, only in 2.5 months. She got early release. It's my fault, like, but made sure she was taken care of in here, right? I mean, so she was. Everything's good. Everything was good.
Tell me about growing up. Do you have happy memories? Was it difficult?
All happy memories. Wouldn't change it. I mean, all happy memories. I tell you, Jeff, there's no really bad ones. Except from police busting the house and all the odd time, but they never got anything. You know what I mean? That's it. I mean, because he thought my dad was selling dope and grass and coke and all.
And was your dad ever in prison then?
Oh yeah, he was. Started taking blues, and then that just, I mean, changed him. He stopped taking all that now. He's back out, so hopefully that's his last time. I mean, I grew up without my real dad, but I had my stepdad. The best thing, like, if I didn't have my stepdad, I wouldn't have no one to look up to. I call him my real dad. I mean, love him to bits. So I do.
And when did you start getting into trouble with the police?
It's whenever a few boys thought they were acting hard, just so they were in their wee groups, so I started carrying a knife with me. Started smoking drugs, taking drugs. It all changed for me. I mean, can't be safe out there, but you know what I mean? They're all in their wee groups. You're walking home on your own. What the fuck do you have? None. It's just dodgy.
So what age would you have been around this time?
13, 14.
Probably before I got out of my teens, you know, I had a trip to Crumlin Road. Me and another friend, you know, one time, and through violence. I remember my mother being hysterical, like, you know, when I was took out of the house by police, you know, and it was just the start of my probably drinking career then was just depression and fights and blackouts. Didn't remember what I'd done or said to somebody, and I've been took to court for assaults and right few times, you know, when I was starting to come out of my late teens and early 20s, and that kept going on through the years. I couldn't really hold a full-time job down. Alcohol took care of that, you know. I kept not being able to turn up, you know, on Mondays. It used to be Mondays, but it kept being Mondays and Tuesdays, and people just got fed up with me, you know. But there were a lot of good people who kept by me, stuck by me over the years, and had patience with me, but these people also ran out of patience with me too, you know. I'm 50 years of age now, and a lot of time to think here, and money's the day, and hour I think about when I get out again, you know. Think about what I'm able to do without alcohol. How am I going to get by? But this time I've come to a real rock bottom, you know, in my life. It's going to be a life sentence, what I've done. The guilt and the shame I feel, like, you know, and the sorrow. I'm still not going to bring this man back, you know, and as I said, this man will never come back again. I'm sorry, sorry for a minute, just again.
Drugs was the problem the last time, but I'm off them now. It'll be a year and 4 months now. This is only over an argument. I wasn't even drinking or drunk, so I wasn't, but I don't feel like mates came in. I was down and depressed a wee bit, because it's like, oh no, not this again, not this whole routine again, not knowing when you're going to be locked, not knowing your everyday schedule when you have out there, you know what you've got planned, what you're going to do that day. There's just not a life for anybody to be in, no. But sure, the law has as it is. You have to be punished for what you've done if you've done anything wrong. But nah, it's not for me. Like, definitely not for me.
Tell me about the shoplifting. What would you do? What would you take? What happened?
I would take anything. Anything I was going. I was making bags up, and like making about £200 to £300 a day, like for 5 months straight. and I was able to control my addiction problem with legal highs, smoking 13 grams because it was like a tenner packet. So that's how I was able to do it. All sorts of things, from deodorants right up to aftershaves, perfumes, clothing, if it was an easy thing.
And then what would you do with the stolen goods?
I would go to the people that wanted them and I'd check a list and give them out what they ordered. Oh, I was always off my head, so I was. So I didn't really care what was going on. Wasn't even looking where the cameras were, what was watching me, which wasn't watching me. I was just in and out like a whippet, basically, to get the job done. I didn't honestly care. Was even caught lying straight in front of the person one time, and I says they just had it up my sleeve and all that there, and I says, doesn't matter, just go and get the place. That's the stage as I was coming to here, so I just didn't care if I was stealing or not.
Just explain to me, Helen, what your record is.
It's mostly all theft. Couple of disorderlies for drinking. Assaults in place. But I can be offing from a tap if you're restrained or offing like that there. And threats to kill in an argument, basically.
It's quite relaxing when you're on your own, especially when you have a lot of problems going on. A lot of problems going on from outside and stuff. And then people in here trying to make time harder because they know you're agreeing to the system, and because I keep the head down, and other people are just would rather take drugs and do their time hard. Now, as time as I'm getting a bit older, I know what way to do my deal is to just work away and just have the benefits of what the jail can throw at me. Do my time peacefully and carry on, crack on, and try and get into a better enhanced regime. Can't get much better than having an old phone to sell. You can just ring and talk away at night, whatever, and your family and friends, and you have your CD player, and you have your kettle of water, and TV, DVD player, your CDs. But I'm looking forward to getting out and just getting on my feet and getting in contact with my wee daughter who I haven't met yet. So I just hold that thought and just crack on with life in here and get out as soon as I can, so I can get all the good things to come to me. We're meeting my kids again and stuff. So hopefully get a job also when I'm released. That's another main factor, getting a job when I get out, going for my lessons and get my driving test instead of driving illegally. I want to try and get legal. I was basically drunk one night and I was on drugs. I was on method, legal high, and it was just an opportunity, and I seen a fella getting out of his taxi, so I noticed that he'd closed the door behind him, and I went into the garden and took his key out with the car key, attached it, and took his car out for a spin, and the police observed the car going down the carriageway over 100 mile an hour, so they put the blue lights on and start chasing me. Where they in Christ, and 10 minutes of the chase at Christ. So I was caught on the scene and I pled guilty in court to it. It's just a stupid thing to do that night when I was drunk, and I just thought about just an opportunist. Also, I'm in for false imprisonment and AOBH along with the burgling and dangerous driving. So I got 3 years for each set of offence. I was out on bail for the false imprisonment and the AOBH whilst I committed the burglary and the dangerous driving 4 weeks later, whilst I was on bail.
Anybody could end up in prison. One bad decision, one bad judgment call. And I've seen that in 28 years I've been in this job, and I have witnessed families in bits, families torn apart, families who'd never come in really even looked at the criminal justice system at all, never mind the prison part, suddenly catapulted into that arena with their loved ones locked up, facing maybe serious charges. And I have witnessed and talked to and communicated with, people in that position. And that can be a scary place. I also see people who come in who would be familiar with the centre or with the prison, and who on the surface seem to cope with it a lot better. They've been in before. But in my experience, over the years, for people who keep reoffending, the impact catches up with them.
It never ceases to amaze me that these records just didn't start with a criminal record. Because these people, these youngsters, these young men, were highly visible for the most part. They weren't hidden. They were in our schools, They were known to other government agencies, social services, youth justice. They're known for all the wrong reasons. But these are the challenges for our community. These are the challenges for our wider society. In 2006 in the United Kingdom, more children were affected by the imprisonment of a parent than by divorce. That's a staggering figure. So why is there not a public debate about that? And the knock-on effect from that is 6 out of 10 boys with a father in custody will come into custody themselves. There are many, many aspects of an intergenerational multiplier in play, not just for those in custody, but their immediate loved ones as well. It's very much an active multiplier fact.
That morning, I was drinking through the night. I don't think my wife even knew what I was drinking. That day I set out, I hadn't got drink on my mind, but I went to that pub that day. My wife had given me the keys. She thought I wasn't drinking, and I got the off license, I got the carry out of drink and got in the car. But about 300 yards outside Sion Mills, I had hit the curb and swerved straight across the road and onto a family car of 4 people, and I hit them head on. The last I can remember is being in the hospital, and I had my wife and daughter and a close friend there. But deep down that day, I had done something terrible, and I wasn't told till 3 days later, but somebody had died in the car accident. And my life just fell apart at that time. I was responsible for this man's death. That's happened 2.5 years ago now, and I still feel the same shame and guilt what I did the day I was told about this man dying. And all the sorries I can say to this family, I'll never bring this man back again. I just pray and hope that nobody else, he'll take this selfish decision what I've made and drink and drive. This was destroyed a family and took a loved one away from his family, and I've thought through this last 2.5 years, and the words and anything I can say is still not enough. So it's a life sentence for that family, and even to my own family. Sorry, that's...
For my son was selling drugs. You know what I mean? It's a bad way to go, because you start selling them, you're going to start tagging them. It's the only way I could provide, because I had no fucking shit from school. You know what I mean? And even that, I still find it hard to provide for my family. Still find it hard. You know what I mean? I'm not a bad person, it's just drug changes everyone. So they do. This one time I sat in the room, my girl and Wayne, so this wee boy. He said, one of my mates was up, flipping, we were having a few joints in the bathroom. He said something, wee man, like, just says, how you doing, wee man? And stabbed me with a screwdriver. Because he was talking to wee man whenever he was off his face. You know what I mean? I don't talk to wee man whenever I'm off my face. I don't be around him whenever I'm off my face. It was just a cheek of him thinking he could talk to my wee man. I mean...
Drugs been a big part of your life?
Yeah, a very big part. Very big part. I mean... meth was a very big problem for me. I mean... I was just taking meth every day. I was sniffing maybe seven bags of it a day. I mean... get me wrong, best balls of your life, but look where it led me, like.
Why do you think violence has been such a big part of it?
Because it's all around me. I mean, I grew up rough estate, grew up in a rough town. It's just the way it has to be. If you aren't a bit violent, people's gonna fucking try and fuck you about, fuck your family about. So I'm not having it. You know what I mean? Not be happening in my family. Not be happening to me either. So, everyone's violent. So you have to show them a wee bit of violence back.
What would you say to people who say, well, I grew up in a difficult town or a difficult estate, but I didn't resort to violence?
Fair play to them. Fair play to them. Then I would ask them, we're there, dad in jail, and their wee brothers and all get took off him. Was I not allowed to see my son for a while? Were they not allowed to see their son? Blah, blah, blah. I asked them that. And did they take drugs? I would ask them the same thing. And then I would ask them, what would they do if someone come at you with a knife and dropped it right in front of you? I guarantee you they would say the same answer as me. I'd left it and use it. I think anyone would, if they were feared. You know what I mean? What would you do?
Here's your discharge paperwork. So that's your notification to the Social Security Agency that you've been in here.
Yeah.
And this is your money.
It's in there, please. Is it there yet?
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
That's great. 5, 15, 25, 45, 65. Sorted, thank you. My mum and dad, they don't even know. I don't know them in this time round. I just mean because they're strongly against all the things that I've done, basically. They wouldn't be happy at all. They don't know them in. So I just kept it, make a phone call, make sure they're all right. As long as I hear their voice, they're all right, and I hear my voice, I know everything's going well.
Are you in a relationship, Helen? Do you have children?
No relationship. I've got a child, but I'm not getting into that there, so she's in foster. Maybe by next year I'll start face-to-face contact with her again. Writing out letters. For it's just it's her emotions. She can't say the goodbye part. And then I don't want her getting upset when you've got her at the stage that she's doing so well in school, getting her education behind her that she needs. She's brilliant. So she's doing really, really well. My mum and dad keep me on post with that. So I don't want her schoolwork sloping down. I definitely do not want her to end up turning her away I have done. I reckon I should be back hopefully in her teenage years. So I'm fully clean off everything. I don't need. It was more addictions to legal highs. That was the main thing. But I'm off them a year, 4 months. So if I could stick what I'm doing and not go down, try and follow into anybody else's paths, I'll have her back within a couple of years. I'm hoping so. I want her to achieve things and go a lot further. Like, I could have had it all, but I just didn't think I would, didn't want it. But this is her chance, and I want her to come out the best for her.
You all right, girl?
Yeah.
I didn't know you were back in.
Oh, yeah, last time, never again.
Right, where were you in?
Oh, since July.
July?
So 2.5 months.
Didn't know you were back there.
Did you know? I can't even remember your face anyway. I suppose you don't want to remember it. That's that time.
I don't remember. Because if you're not coming back, I'm not bothered to you.
No, definitely not coming back. Definitely
okay,
not.
Joel.
Yes.
How do you see your future, Helen?
I don't know where to describe it, but I'm thinking I'm going to go far. I think I'm going to go far. I've got now a wee bit of faith in myself, and I don't know where we're going to be, but I won't be down the lines of drug or alcohol. I'm just going to have to maybe get out of the area I'm living in, move house, and just maybe start fresh again. Freedom.
We need to be careful that when we embark upon the journey of rehabilitation, often with men and women who are broken, that we give them a level of expectation which is legitimate. What we don't do is we set them on a path of false belief and expectation on what they can achieve. I've heard in my career too many men and women who have said, this time next year I will be, and it will be a successful businessman, or I will be in a job earning a very good rate of money. They don't realise that society is not engaged in a place to be able to welcome ex-offenders willingly back into society. The chances of a person not finding employment is significant. The chances of a person not finding stabilised accommodation is equally significant. That person having an opportunity back in society that they think that they have got a right to because they've served their time in prison may well find that a difficult position for them to engage in, and that might then send them back into, again, a spiral of decline where they go back to committing offending, and they unfortunately find themselves back in the prison from which they just recently left.
There's no one factor that says that's going to mean that that individual will come back into jail, because there are individuals who do live difficult lifestyles who don't come into jail. Part of it is choice. People who make bad choices and who consistently make bad choices will and can end up back in jail. Certainly a lot of short-term prisoners have chaotic lifestyles characterised by low educational attainment, lack of stability in their home lives, either in terms of relationships where they live, and also characterised by substance misuse, and have limited, if any, job prospects. I don't subscribe to the concept of a criminal underclass or anything like that. You know, the prisoner population here is reflective of society. But I think the hope is that every person is capable of change. And I think more importantly is if they come back never to be disappointed, but to continue to try. You know, at the end of the day, the role of a prison officer is at a time whenever everyone else has given up, he or she doesn't and continues to try.
it then to the trial?
2 years. 2 years of depression and going in and out of mental hospitals for me because I couldn't cope with what had happened. I actually didn't want to live at that time, but my wife and daughter had told me what they'd be there for me. That's the only reason I'm here. I'm living today.
Did you see or speak to the victim's family during the court proceedings?
No, I hadn't got the opportunity to stand up and speak, tell them the barrister done that. My own pastor and a great friend is going to come down and visit me here in prison, and I'm going to try and write a letter to the family, you know, and just try somehow to tell them how sorry I am. That's the only thing I can do.
Did you see them at the trial?
Yes, I seen them, yeah. It was very, very hard, like, you know. It was very hard to look their way, you know, and I could see the pain. I could see the pain on each one of their faces, you know. And I just don't know at the minute how I'm going to cope with the future, you know. And at the minute, I just can't see one.
What happened to come back in?
I'm a fair Dagway boy, and he ran me, told me to come down, meet him, me full of coke. I went into the house, grabbed the machete, put it down inside my trousers, and walked down to meet him. And 2 police cars were sitting undercover police cars. But I brought out the machete to hit him with it, and Pillar grabbed me. But as soon as he grabbed me, I didn't notice it was a pillar, so I swung it back and nearly clipped the policeman with it. And then I noticed the pillars and ran. Then I hit the coke, threw the machete away, threw the phones in the bin, swallowed 2 SIM cards. I mean, don't want to know my business. Madness.
So why did you have to get rid of the phones?
Just need to get rid of them.
And the machete?
Hmm?
It's quite a weapon.
Yep. So they recalled me and put me in possession of offensive weapon to cause an indictable offence, common assault, and that's it. I mean, breach of licence and breach of everything. Feel the breathalyzer, feel the drug test, all that shit. So I'm back in. I have 11 months left now, I'm out. Can't do fuck all about it, I literally can't. I mean, smile every time I see them. Maybe even give them the odd wave too, you know what I mean? Just let them know I'm about. Fuck them, I hate them.
Why do you hate them?
They're just scumbags. They're just scumbags. Can't do nothing out there. I bring my way into the park or something, I ain't getting searched. Maybe if they're in a bad day or the wife didn't give out or something that night, I'd be down for a strip search. They find nothing on me. I went to a shop once and got 3 police cards from 3 different searches 5 minutes down the road. You know what I mean? And I reported it to the police ombudsman. My mum did nothing done about it. You know what I mean? Every time you see me, you stop me. I know I have my past, but people move on from the past. If they weren't stopping me and searching me every day, maybe when they did need to go out and get drunk or sniff meth and all, they fucking deal with all the shit that's going on. I had enough shit to deal with if the police stop me and search me every time. You know what I mean?
I have 4 children, 3 boys and 1 girl. I have 2 boys, the one girl, she's now living in Birmingham. She gave them up, so she did. And then I have another one, another girl, another son. The 2 ex-partners were the 2 sons. The relationship was volatile. A lot of jealousy going on, so there was. And on both sides, my side and their sides. The social workers got involved. They started saying like what I had done, that I had pled guilty to assault on her when she was 6 months pregnant and stuff like that there whenever. And I'll contest it to this day, but the barrister told me if I wanted to get out the last time I was in, that I would have to plead guilty to it. Or if I didn't, then they would find me guilty because of previous records.
So you were convicted of assault on
Yep.
one of your ex-partners?
Yep.
And had that happened before?
It has happened before, huh? With the social worker also getting involved where she dislocated her shoulder.
So there was a lot of violence?
A lot of violence, yeah.
Is that something you think back on now?
Yep.
And what do you think about it now?
Just wish I had dealt with it better back then. I'd have took 2 steps back and took 2 deep breaths and probably wouldn't have the convictions on my record today. Looking forward, mate, just having the positives in my life that are going to change my life. Don't look back in the past because the past will only haunt me. It was very hard, so it was. And when I came in, I was taking a party drug called Magic, and my head wasn't in the right state of mind. And I was trying to commit suicide, where I was tying ligatures around my throat and trying to strangle myself to death, and on 3 or 4 occasions where I was put in a safer cell for at least just over 2 months. And I got a lot of help off the staff in Ban House back then. I've been drugs free from coming to prison now near 13 months, and just hope when I get out that it'll not be tempted, or hopefully it all works out, mate, for me when I get out, just and stay away from people with criminal records and stuff. Focus on my life with my kids and my family and myself, trying to get myself independent and stuff. Aye.
Tell me about the football when you were in youngster.
Right, North End. Played for him whenever I was younger. Over Preston, over in England. Played there. Had a few good games. Actually, all of them were good. Good back crack, good coaches, you know what I mean?
You were good, you had trials.
Aye, yeah, it was good, like, it was good. So it was. But then, things change. You can't do nothing about it. So my uncle died and it's just changed me, you know what I mean? Changed me, like, couldn't deal with it. I was always with my uncle. I always stayed with him, all. Just the best uncle I could ever ask for. Best person you could ever ask for, flipping. Just changed me. I mean, it's like having someone in your life for all them years and then just disappearing. I mean, it's mad. A few years later, I was on drugs. Fucked me up, like. That's fucked me up, madness. I was self-harming and all, always doing it. It was just a way of coping because I didn't have the right medication. So I thought it was the best way to cope. I mean, coming off of meth and all that, just to cope. I mean, if I heard something bad, you go back, phone call, been straight in my room, cut for just a release. I mean,
So what was it, kind of anxiety, depression?
anxiety and drug-induced psychosis. It's like whenever I take drugs, started like listening and seeing stuff and all. You know what I mean? I'm a complete different person whenever I take drugs. I have to scare myself sometimes. I mean, just do some really shit but could land me in jail for years and years and years. I mean, some of the shit I've done should land me in for a good long time, but you know what I mean? Just say karma's a bitch, catches up on you. Fuck it. Madness.
Prison from the